stop trying new things, we become stagnant. We have comfort zones in everything: TV, movies, music, and even photography gear and techniques. In order to become better artists, we have to break out of these comfort zones. Moving forward in our artistic journey is about expanding our horizons so that you don't see life in a tunnel vision. You see it full panorama. So in this video, I'm finally getting out of my 400 to 800 color film bubble and trying some Ilford Delta 3200, which ended up being kind of painful, if I'm being honest. And if you ever shot with a new film stock before, it's tough to visualize kind of what the results of the chemistry is going to be between, you know, artist vision and camera. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what to expect. A lot of times we shoot based on the film stock we are shooting with, and if you have no frame of reference for that film stock, then it's going to be a little tougher, which means my first shot sucked hard. If you could even call it a photo, it's just like super dark. But hold on, let's rewind a second. Back in Atlanta during Film Stock 2023, I won this tote bag, and that's not really that important. But when they called out my number for the Beers and Cameras meetup raffle, they asked where I was from. In the moment my mouth uttered South Carolina, it was a bat signal to the other South Carolinians in the room to descend upon me. I ended up meeting a couple guys that told me they had a film walk group in Greenville, South Carolina that meets every couple weeks. But this terrible photo you see before you isn't just the result of meeting some fellow film weirdos. It's also because at this very same meetup in Atlanta, a mysterious woman appeared to me. She told me to hold out my hand and close my eyes. And what she put in my hand felt weird. It was a human tooth. I'm just kidding. No, it was just a roll of Delta 3200. She was an Ilford rep, and I wasn't special at all. She was handing out film to a lot of people there. Ilford rep, whoever you are, mysterious Ilford rep, I appreciate it. Thank you for the Delta 3200 you gave me. Turns out it was a great opportunity to wander around Greenville and take terrible photos. So. Okay, so here's another bad one. This is a double exposure, but you would barely know it because it is just too dark. The funny part about photography is that no matter how long I'm shooting for, as far as years go, I can still put myself in situations where I feel like a total noob. And nothing like a little night photography to make yourself feel totally inadequate as a photographer. And so the Greenville Film Walk group was meeting for a night photography walk, and so everyone was ready with their tripods, except for me, because I thought the Delta 3200 would take care of me. And it did kind of. And a swing and a miss on this one. This was one of those chaos double exposures that I really didn't expect much from, and I was hoping it would be cooler than it was, and it's not that cool. My biggest problem is that I heard 3200 and I thought, oh, so I have night vision now, basically. And I guess you do compared to like an ISO 100 or 200 film. But like if a shadow's dark, it's dark. Like there's nothing you can do about it. It's just like science. So most of these photos are just way too dark. If I was out there with Lomo 800 or Cinestill 800T, it would be easy, comfortable. I would know exactly what to expect, and I would know exactly how to shoot it, because those are some of my favorite film stocks to use. But the work, unfortunately for me, isn't as satisfying unless I'm challenging myself in some way. I'm a firm believer that photography is pain. And there's a guilt I feel in my photographer's soul when something like works a little too well. There's a satisfaction in an image when it took a lot to get there, or it was an incredibly painful experience, or you had to drive all night, or you waited a long time for the shot, and everything just comes together after a somewhat miserable experience. That's kind of when the rush of this medium sinks in. But the drug is only effective if we feel at least a little bit of pain along the way. I saw a thing the other day that says, once you hit your 30s, your music tastes are solidified. And that honestly scared the crap out of me. The idea that I'm frozen taste-wise at this point in my life seems like creative death to me. I gotta stay fresh. I gotta keep pushing and trying things, or else, creativity dies within me. And I'll end up doing the same things over and over for the rest of my life, and I'll end up being bored. Everyone who looks at my stuff will be bored. I gotta keep pushing forward. So basically I shot Delta 3200 to avoid creative death. That's essentially what I'm saying. And speaking of death, it's Christmas. And I hope you have a Merry Christmas and enjoy time with family. And you can follow me on Instagram at Will Malone. You can follow my Polaroid Instagram account at RoidRage72. And please subscribe if your Spotify Wrapped also revealed to you that you have MPC and unoriginal taste in music. And so now you're just stuck listening to the Andre 3000 flute album over and over, so that maybe next year's Spotify Wrapped might show some interestingness and uniqueness, so that you don't feel ashamed to share it on your Instagram stories in 2024.